What's up, guys? It's your boy Mizzy, and I'm here today to cover college football. I'm obviously an Alabama fan, roll tide, but we're here today to talk about the past game, Western Kentucky, and probably cover a little bit of the upcoming game with South Florida. But first of all, I want to get into this was the first game this week with Caleb DeBoer as the coach since Nick Saban had left. So of course, everybody knew Alabama wasn't losing to Western Kentucky, but you still can learn a little bit, even in games that other people probably think don't matter, but every game matters because you build on everything through the season. So first of all, the thing I first noticed, the defense, man, the defense looked really aggressive. These past couple of years, I had been saying that we wasn't getting the turnovers we used to. We wasn't getting the force multipliers. When you get a bunch of turnovers and can flip field position, man, that really what Alabama hung they had on a lot of times. So, like I said, I love seeing the defense aggressive. You had Keon Sabb, man, what a transfer. What a transfer. How ironic he came from Michigan. But, man, that dude, boy, I always say, man, you can teach defense, but really certain players, they just got a knack for finding the ball. It's almost like when Ed Reed played. Man, Keon Sabb with 2 interceptions, not one, 2. And almost a third one. I almost had a third one. That first one, was it the first one? Yeah, the first one he should have took to the crib, but he looked like he got a little gas. But I expect him to, like I say, which is crazy to say, improve, because after getting two interceptions in a game, you like, where can I go from here? But like I said, man, the defense was looking aggressive. The only drive that it really looked a little worrisome was the one when Western Kentucky had the long drive and they got down to maybe the 10, 12-yard line, and then they converted a 4th down earlier on that drive, but then it was like 4th and 5, and the quarterback took off to the right side of the field. He tried to run for the first down, and that's another point I'm making about the defense. The guy tracks him down all the way running from the opposite side and tackles him. That's, like I said, man, that defense, everybody was thinking coming into this game, we have to be worried about the defense. And like I say, I still want to say, yes, I know this is Western Kentucky. We're not getting too high about beating Western Kentucky, because we know in a couple games we got Georgia coming up into town, and I'll be going to that game as well. So probably have a couple videos and coverage for you. But let me get into next talking about Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams, boy, the breakout star. Even though he only had 2 catches, but both for 2 tubs, like 139 yards. I'm like, man, wait a minute. That guy 17? I'm like, that guy can't be 17. I'm like, man, that is really crazy, the level of athlete nowadays. But that's really, like I said about the defense, that's something that was lacking these past couple of years as well. Probably since we played Georgia in the national championship when Jameson Williams got hurt. That's the last time I felt we had a wide receiver that was a true number 1 wide receiver. And you always want to have a number 1 wide receiver that can change the leverage of the field. A guy that we got to pay special attention to. And then, like I said, Ryan Williams, he looks like he could be that guy. Especially as young as he is, still probably unpolished. He looks like, man, this guy's going to be a star. And then next, I want to get into talking about the offense with Jalen Milroe. So the offense, it looked good, but also still had a couple of struggles. I also don't want to get too down on the O-line, because the one O-line, I can't think of the guy's name right now, but he was out of the game. They're saying he's game to game, and it's nothing, I guess, serious. He'll be back shortly, hopefully by the time we play Georgia. But the O-line, they had the mishandled snap, when they snapped it over Milroe's head, he had to run out the ball. That's something you definitely don't want to see keep going, because last year we seen too many of them. As an Alabama fan, I know we were sick of like, oh my God, what's the O-line doing? Like, oh, come on now. But hold on real quick. But another thing is Miro, we already know his deep throws is killing. Well, they're great. And then we know that he struggles with the intermediate throws. The throws where you gotta put touch on the ball. But one thing I think Caleb DeBoer is gonna do with Jalen Miro, I think he's gonna simplify the offense to a point. Because looking at it, which you're not gonna show that much against Western Kentucky, but with Jalen Miro's athleticism, I can already see that this offense is gonna be explosive. It would surprise me if this offense at the end of the year was top 10 in, touchdowns, yards per game, because they have that much talent on the field. We didn't even get into talking about Law, another guy who a track star practically. He can outrun everybody. But Jalen Miro, like I said, he looks good. One thing I probably would suggest, I don't know if he need to be lifting no more weights. Because, like, man, that guy just getting bigger and bigger. And like I said, you the quarterback. Like I said, all we need you to do is throw it and get there. But one thing I definitely loved about the game was that drive, when they looked like it was like 18 plays or whatever, that it looked like they could have gave up a touchdown, that they got to stop. And I was like, you know what? That's a defense. Matter of fact, I think one of the guys after the words, he said that they was mad that they didn't score on defense. He was like, man, we want to be a defense that scores. And I was like, you know what? I like that attitude. I like that right there. But then another thing I probably will get into as far as well, matter of fact, off of Alabama, but I guess into a couple games this past weekend. The ones that I had to go to a funeral this past Saturday, so I didn't catch the Clemson and Georgia game, but that game, it went practically like I thought it was gonna go. Because, like I said, Dabo years ago, he been said that he's not finna, adapt to the new style of coaching with the transfer portal and the NIL and all this, because they literally have 0 guys for the transfer portal. So, like I said, that's not saying that the transfer portal is everything, but Dabo has to adapt to the new time, or he might as well just retire and just hang it up. But then also, like I said, I was at a funeral earlier. So the game that I first watched was Miami versus Florida. Man, Florida is finna have a rough year. I'm talking about, man, they look so bad. I'm talking about they look horrible. They look horrible. And if you see their schedule, I don't know how they got this tough of a schedule, but man, it wouldn't surprise me at the end of this year they had about 7 losses, because that offense is horrible, the defense is horrible. It wasn't nothing that they could leave that game and be like, you know what, that's what we did good. At least we did that good. It was nothing they did good. But off of Florida, because like I said, you don't want to start ranting about them. They trash, they whatever they is. And another game I caught a little the first half was Ohio State, which, like I said, nobody this weekend played nobody really besides, I guess you say Clemson played Georgia, but Clemson, I think soon by the 6-7 week, we'll see like they're not a good team. But like I said, I watched a little bit of the Ohio State game. They looked pretty good. But like I said, nobody played nobody really. Ohio State obviously won big. Texas won big. Like I said, pretty much everybody this week did what they were supposed to do. The only team that for some reason was ranked number 10th coming into the season was Florida State. Then Monday, Boston College beat them. And I'm like, first of all, why was y'all ranked number 10 anyways? Y'all already was crying last year about, we were supposed to be in the playoffs. We were supposed to be in the playoffs. No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. Like I said, you see what happened this past week? This Monday, and then Georgia Tech the first week, that's what happened. Way worse in the college football playoffs. But then another thing, like I said, matter of fact, I'm gonna get to what I think this upcoming game gonna happen for Alabama. So we play South Florida this week. Of course, everybody knows what happened last year. They know we started out with I can't think of the other quarterback name right now, but they benched Miro for the beginning of the game, brought him in the game, and the whole game was just a mess. It was a miracle. The way that last year started and the way it ended, it was a miracle. Like, that was one of Nick's greatest coaching years, because that was looking, when you talking about rough, it was looking rough. But like I said, this week, playing South Florida again, I know that they want to make a statement and be like, last year, this ain't last year no more, dog. I think this week they're going to come in. I'm predicting Jalen Miro, because, like I said, I know Caleb DeBoer he's thinking about, let me get him comfortable in the passing game. We know his athleticism. We know the guy, like, he's a truck, man. The guy can move. He can do everything. I think he's going to get him passing the ball even more, because he only was, I think, 7 for 9 this week with 200 yards passing. Like, everything was a big play. So I think that he'll be like, man, let's get the passes in. Probably have him. I predict I think it's going to be a big game for Jalen. I could see him passing for close to 300 yards. Like I said, he may not get at the 300, because, if it's a blowout, then, of course he'll be on the bench. But it won't be no tight game like it was last year. I'm predicting what we had last week, 62-0 this week. Because like I said, man, it's hard to shut out teams all the time. I think South Florida will probably get a field goal. So I'm thinking this week that this game will probably be 50, 55-3, 55-10, somewhere in that range. But one thing I know for certain, this game is going to be a wipeout. And like I said, probably early in the game, maybe by the end of the half, this game will probably be 30 points. They'll probably get up 30 points, because I know they're going to come in and ball them. Then, like I say, hopefully Keon Sabb has some more big plays. Ryan Williams, we want to see him continue going further and further with him growing in the offense. Then, like I said, I want to see the other guys get involved as well. I want to see Law, Prentice. Like I said, the running backs, man, we already know what they did. Like I said, last week they had a 85-yard run to the house, which, like, man, you don't see that much. 85 yards to the house, that's crazy. But like I said, man, we're definitely gonna mop the floor with them this week. And then, like I said, I'm definitely gonna post a video afterwards, after the game. And then, like I said, we'll check back in then. Mizzy out. Roll Tide.